The Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast is not a substitute for a relationship with your mental health professional. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back, family, to The Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast with your girl, Andrea Wise-Brown. Hey, family. I am so happy to be back here again with you this week for another episode. And today, family, we are going to talk about control. Is there someone that you know who always needs to be in control of all things around them? I mean, is it you? Could be. Where you feel like if you don't have control of the things that, I don't know, maybe you can't function, maybe you can't find peace, maybe you can't find happiness, if you don't control all things around you. I'm wondering, we're going to talk about that shortly today. We're going to talk about that today on the podcast. However, but the first things first, y'all know what we have to do first. Take care of business. If you haven't done so already, please click that bell, subscribe to the podcast, and ring and click that little bell so that you get notifications when there's a new episode up. Okay? And please share with everyone that you know. And remember, I always tell you, if you've never heard me say it before, I'm saying it today. If you ever feel froggy, then I say jump. And if you want to leave a comment, especially on the you can do it on the Facebook page, you can do it on Instagram, and you can do it on YouTube. Okay? All right, family. So here, today we are talking about control. The need to want to control all things around you. Now, somebody might say, well, Andrea, isn't that a smart thing to do? Who wants to live in a space where you can't control the things around you? Then I would say, in certain circumstances, yes, you may be the lead on something where it would be beneficial for you to control the things around you. And control meaning to plan out things, right? To set an intention for things. So that's one thing. Then sometimes you may be in a situation where it may be beneficial to allow someone else to control the circumstances or to plan certain things. You understand? That surround you, and you just be a part of it. So having the need to control every single thing around you can be problematic. It can be problematic to you, your mental health, your peace, because it's impossible to control everything around you. And it can be problematic to the people in your life. You understand? So let's just say in your household, if you have a spouse, it could be problematic. If you have in your friendships, if you have to control everything, where we go, how we go, what time we go, where we need to park, what we eat, what type of restaurant. If you're always doing that, feeling the need to control those things, and the thought is that you controlling those things is what brings you peace. So then that means that when you don't control those things, then you feeling havoc in your mind, you feeling a whole bunch of havoc and a whole bunch of anxiety, then there is a problem. And so not only is there a problem with you, but it's also going to ruin those relationships. Because if you're in a friendship and every single place that you go, or, you always have to be the one to choose this or tell them this is what you need to do, or this is what we want to do, and this is what we're going to do, then that is going to cause some friction in a relationship and maybe even make those people not want to be your friends anymore. So not only in a romantic relationship, this could come up in, as I said, in a friendship, but this also could come up in a family system. If you're in a family system, you have siblings, and you feel like you always have to control everything. Where we going to have the family reunion? How long we going to stay? What we going to eat? What we going to do? And so if you are not the person that does that, now all of a sudden you don't want to go. That's a problem. Now, that's a problem for you, Because now you sitting at home by yourself thinking about everything that they're doing, because now you don't want to go, but may not be a problem for them, because you being there wanting to control everything may really be a part of the problem. Okay? So having control is not always the best way to live life. And it's not always the healthiest thing to do and to possess is control. It's not always. And so let me tell you, the most common causes for people who need to have control all of the time is anxiety disorders and personality disorders. Those are the most common causes of people who need to have control over every single thing around them. You got me? They need to control everything, and they don't trust or don't feel safe when anyone else around them or surrounding them controls things that they have to participate in or that they need to be around. All right. And I will tell you this. A lot of times when people have these anxiety disorders or personality disorders, dependent now, personality disorders are enduring for a whole lifespan. Anxiety disorders, a part of it, and I've talked to you guys about anxiety in the past before. So there is an older episode where I kind of talk to you about what anxiety is and where it comes from. But there is a genetic predisposition to having higher anxiety, meaning that some people are just wired to have higher anxiety than others. And so for some people who are wired to have higher anxiety than others, then they may be the people who, when they've gotten in situations, maybe as a child, and they felt like, because as a child you are powerless, so your power is given to whoever your caregivers are. And if your caregivers did not make the best decisions for you, and you did not feel safe around your caregivers, or you didn't feel like they put you in safe situations with other people because you were abused or you were used, and they really weren't there to protect you for whatever reason, whether they knew it or not, doesn't matter. How it affected a child like that, who already is wired to have anxiety, is really rev up their anxiety where it's to a level where it is diagnosable now, and then they turn into a very controlling adult. You hear me? Even a controlling adolescence, where they're the kid that's, other kids would say are bossy or tell everyone what to do. Well, so it was sparked usually with some traumas from some experiences that you've had or they've had during childhood. Okay. So now, okay, here we go. So this is where it came from. All right. And so now we are adults, because this is an adult show, and we're talking about control and not wanting to live without having control, needing to control everything, and how that really can be problematic in your life. And so the best thing to do would be to try to relinquish some of the control and to trust life. To trust life. And when I say trust life, y'all know, I'm always talking about trusting God. Trust God, because he's got you. God is always conspiring for our good. He's always conspiring for our good. I have so many stories that I will tell y'all eventually about how God has brought me out of some things where I didn't even understand. I couldn't even see myself through them. So we have to just trust him. Although once we are in, as I would say to you guys, the challenge or the valley, we are supposed to learn the lessons. We're supposed to stretch, but always knowing that we can take God's hand because he's here. See, me and God, we co-pilots. We co-pilot in this thing called life. You got me? And so even if I don't trust the people around me, or maybe in certain situations where I may not be as trusting of my decisions, I'm always going to trust God's. And I do believe, I know for me, I believe God is in all of us. As I said, he created us in his image. And so that's your knowing, your intuition, your internal navigation system, okay? Your internal map quest. That's your knowing right there. That's how he speaks to us. And some people hear him at different times during the day, but he's the knowing. So it's like choosing to trust him and to know that God is always conspiring for our good. So let me just tell you this. In order to help you with this, because this was my message this week, is control. Control. What does it feel like to let's relinquish control and to let God lead? What does that even look like? Because it kept coming up for me with the different clients that I had this week. And so, just to tell you what that looks like is, because this is the thing, the emotions that are at the basis of feeling the need to control are anger, fear, stress, and grief. So when I feel anger, when I'm fearful and I'm scared, when I have a lot of stress, and I'm grieving the loss of a loved one. They've transitioned, or I'm grieving a relationship. And those four basic emotions are the root of the feeling like I don't want to have a lack of control. Like I need to control everything. I need to control everything. Okay. Anger, fear, stress, and grief. So when you are experiencing those things, a lot of times people don't even understand that they are in this pattern of trying to control everything. They don't even understand it. And they don't understand that the root cause are these four emotions. So I'm just trying to make you aware of that, right? So, a small example would be sometimes, and I do this also. I'm human just like you. I just have a little more insight and I'm studied, but I'm human just like you. And I like to use what I teach. I kind of use what I preach, what I teach. Okay. But, I have full awareness of this, that, I like to keep everything clean. I'm a very clean person. And I noticed that sometimes when I start to see myself over clean, got me cleaning out shelves, folding up stuff, making sure everything's neat, cleaning under the bed, over cleaning and setting up, moving stuff around, resituating stuff, trying to make it new, and shiny and disinfecting everything. Usually what that is it's a symptom that something else in your life you feel like you have a lack of control of. Like there's something else that's going on in your life. So you're angry about something, or you're fearful, you're scared of about something, you're stressed, or you're grieving something. And so usually that's what triggers this need to find control in other places. And so an example of that would be the symptom of over cleaning and keeping stuff straight. How many times can you clean off a counter, Andrea? How many times? But if I dial down, I go, oh, this is what's going on in my life right now. Oh, this is what this is. So once you are mindful and aware of what the triggers are, then you can talk yourself through the trigger. Like, okay, this is not the worst thing ever. Yeah, is it really even bad? Or is it just that I just don't like it? Did it need to happen? Can I learn something from it? Yeah. So I do all that processing. Then that brings my anxiety down. And then I can either choose to finish cleaning, or if it's already clean, then what am I going to do with myself? Then I can sit on down and do something else. I can relinquish the need to have control. And I know, family, that some of you out there do the same thing. You find these little things that you need to control because you feel a lack of control in some other area in your life. Okay. It's a lack of control. So you over control other things, right? So it could be washing your car. It could be over controlling your children. It could be trying to boss up and over control your coworkers. Okay. Not the people who work under you. All right. I'm talking about your actual coworkers that's on the same level. Now you want to control what time lunch is, or who bringing what and who start. You got me? So usually these things come up in us and we have to act out because you got to get it out. And we're unaware of the root cause of it, of the trigger. Okay. But we can work through that. So let me tell y'all how to do that. Simply just doing this. So being aware that I have really been controlling, or I am a controlling individual. And it doesn't make me a bad person. I'm just going to go back to the root of the why. I'm going to find out the why. And you can find out the why from going to see a what? A therapist. If you listen to the last episode last week, I told you how to find a good therapist. If you find a therapist to work on your control issues with, they will help you, honey. They will help you to go down to the root, to peel back the layers of the onion. That is my thing to do, to go down to the root cause of why, where in, during childhood, did you feel like you had a lack of control? Where were you abused or used, or you felt disregarded? When during childhood did you feel powerless and you wished you could have had some power? A lot of times I will see this with some male clients who will tell me that when they were little boys, they actually watched their mothers be beaten, abused physically by their boyfriends or by their father. And since they were a little child, they were powerless. They were little. And so they couldn't really protect mom the way that they wanted to protect mom. And so what that did was, of course, it built up a lot of anger. It built up a lot of resentment that they carried over the years. And when they were of age where they could own their own space, they became very, very controlling of everyone around them because they never want to feel that injury again. Okay, that emotional injury or that emotional sting of, I am in a position, I feel weak, I feel powerless, and there's someone who I love who's getting abused and I can't even help them. So they never want to repeat that again. So what happens is they become adults, teenagers, adults, and then they decide, like, I'm controlling every single thing around me because the fear is speaking. The fear says that if I don't, then I'll be put in that position again. That's not what's true, but that's what the fear is telling them. Y'all got me? That's what the trauma is telling them. If you don't over control this, you're going to be right back in that position and you're going to feel that again. And they go, I ain't feeling that again. So then there you go with the over control. Okay. So I'm just telling you, does that happen with women too? Yes. Little girls sometimes, when they grow up in family systems where they feel powerless too, if it was abuse, if they were abused, if their mothers were abused, or usually if they have narcissistic mothers. I've seen this several times. And the narcissistic moms are very controlling, over controlling. And then as a little girl, they feel powerless because you are your little girl. So you have to listen because your mom has to lead you, or your mom and your dad, your parents, And so, but I've seen this directly between little girls, women, and their moms. When the mom was very over controlling, then what happens is, as soon as they become teenagers or adults and they pay for their space, or they can kind of own the space that they're in, no matter how big or small it is, they become obsessively controlling. They need to control everything around them because they do not want to go back. And I'll say, feel the injury, be re-injured. They fear going back to the circumstance where if they don't have control, that someone around them is going to have control over them and make them feel that same way again, that same trauma and that same pain again. Okay, so that's where that comes from. So I've just given you an example of what some men have told me and what some women have told me. And of course, this is not gender specific. I'm telling you, you may not know. So there it is, Andrea, tell them. This is not gender specific, but I'm just giving you some examples. I've seen so many people in my practice, but these are just some examples that I have seen. Okay, y'all. So like I told you, so it's being mindful about the fact that I am controlling and people are saying this, or this person is saying this. And so I probably need to watch what I'm doing when I'm doing it. Anytime I'm interacting, I need to be mindful, aware of what I'm doing and my actions. Am I being controlling? Am I not? Am I pushing people away? Am I not? You know what I'm saying? Okay. And go see a therapist. Find someone to talk to, a trained professional to talk to about the need to control. They can help you peel back the layers of the onion, get to the root of the cause. Because once you start to understand what the cause is, now you can use that to fuel you and help you change your behavior. Once you find out the why, now as an adult, you can go, oh, wait, hold on. This has nothing to do with that. This person right here is not the man who was abusing my mom, who I felt powerless to. So I can let go of trying to control this. I'm safer than I can even imagine. Yeah, I am safer than I can even, right? So challenging those thoughts and usually getting to the root of things will help you to challenge those thoughts. And you can do that with a therapist. Another way is self-talk, like I just said. So self-talk is, this is you just where you literally you're thinking those things, but you talk to yourself and you say, I'm not going to do this right now. Is this really serving me to over control this situation when I'm not really in danger? Am I really in danger? Nope, because I just realized that this is not the same person. This is not their intent to overpower me or overpower the people here or abuse me. I am old enough, strong enough to take care of myself, so I am not in danger. Yeah, I feel safe. So that's the self-talk, how you talking to yourself. Okay. And then you also need to know that you have the power to, this is another one, to remove yourself if necessary. So if you're in a situation that you really do assess is unsafe for you, then move. Get yourself out of that situation. Done. Set boundaries. I'm done. This is over. No more. I want no more of this. You are old enough and strong enough and smart enough to remove yourself from a situation that is unsafe. You got me? So I don't need to over control it. I just need to set boundaries and remove myself. Okay. And then, oh gosh, another one would be to ground yourself. So let's say if you find that, you've been mindful, so you kind of understand the why of why you're here. You've done therapy, so you get it. So then you can use self-talk and say, this is not the same situation. You decide, okay, I don't really need to remove myself, so I can kind of sit in this. So then you say, okay, so then what's next? How do I calm myself down? How do I bring my anxiety down? Well, you ground yourself. And some ways to ground yourself, y'all can also find that in my book, 6 Pillars to Power Up Your Mind. But to ground yourself, you can do some exercising. So you can take a walk, right? So just your feet on the pavement will ground you. You can do a little bit of meditation where, just small little ones where you can sit still and take some deep breaths. So those are 2 ways I'll just name that you can ground yourself. And grounding yourself meaning when I'm feeling really anxious, when you're feeling really anxious, then you feel off the ground. And then that's when the need to control things goes up even higher. So now I'm really over controlling. So now it's no, I don't need to over control, especially once I ground. But once I'm caught into that anxiety, then I feel impulsive. And if I'm not grounded, I'm over cleaning. I'm creating havoc. I'm starting arguments. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about you. You talking about me. I want that smoke. So then that's why you're going to remove yourself. And then you're going to ground yourself. So if I ground myself, once I walk or do some deep breathing, there's a physiological effect that happens. It calms down your vagus nerve, which is the main nerve in your body, connecting your brain from your body. Once you calm that down with deep breath, and you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, because your sympathetic nervous system is the one that's going haywire, where I'm anxious and I'm impulsive and I feel like I can't do anything. I'm just off the ground, so I'm controlling. So now what we want to do is activate your parasympathetic nervous system, that you're calm. And deep breathing does that, and walking. And then the last one, which is the most important of all, y'all, is increase your trust in God. Increase your trust in God. That's what I want you to do, because come on now, he gave you breath. He gave you breath. He gives us life. And he decides when we transition to go back to meet him. So he has the power. He is the Alpha and the Omega. He knows all things. So he sees things and knows things even before you start to encounter them. You got me? So why not connect with him? He's got your back. He's always conspiring for your good. And if you want to find peace, the real peace is in God. So practicing and expanding that. All right, y'all. So I just wanted to kind of give y'all that message today. And y'all know I've been telling y'all stories lately. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story that's it's a small story. It's a real small story. But I'm gonna give y'all this little small story of me practicing letting go of control, right? Me practicing yeah, feeling free and allowing God. So I recently had a speaking engagement in another state. So I go to this other state to do this speaking engagement. And when I get to the other state, well, no, let me tell the whole story, um, and the truth about the whole story. So before I got to the before I got to the state to do the speaking engagement, I needed to get my makeup done. So before I do, speaking engagement, I wanted to get, the makeup done, okay? And so it was in another state, and my makeup artist, whose name is Sean, she is amazing, okay? Does my makeup for most things, right? For most things, especially things that are local. But one day, Sean, we going on tour, okay? But she does my makeup. However, when I'm traveling out of town, right? If Sean is not with me, I have to hire somebody. So I literally ask Sean, I'm like, Sean, I got to go somewhere and I need my makeup done. So she's like, okay. So she goes to this website that she uses and she sends me some makeup artists. All right, y'all. So let me just tell you this. I'm going to try to cut to the chase, So I get to this state that I'm going to speak, and she just gave me the recommendation. So as she gives me the recommendation, I go on the little thing and I make an appointment with this person. Now, when you make an appointment with the people, with the makeup artist that's on this little application, you don't really know the address. You don't know the address. You don't know many of the details, right? They may ask you like, what makeup have you used before? What type of glam do you want? Do you want up glam? Do you want down glam? Do you want smoky eye? Do you want all this stuff? Okay, they'll ask you those questions, but they don't give you their address until after you send them their deposit. And in this case, it wasn't until the day of. So let's just say I had to perform on this day at 3 p.m. And so, I booked it, gave my deposit. And I'm already nervous because it's not Sean, okay? Because Sean does my makeup. So I'm already nervous, like, okay, what I'm going to look like. But then, okay, I got to trust God. I got to trust God. You know what I'm saying? Because get what? I can remove myself. I can remove the makeup and then go in like this, okay? With just minimal little stuff on. But what I really want and what I really desire is I want a beat face. Okay. So I make a decision that I'm going to let go and I'm going to trust God. I'm going to trust this person to do my makeup because God is always conspiring for my good. Okay. So I make the appointment. And just before the morning of, so I'm going to say maybe now it's maybe 11 o'clock. So I was scheduled to get my makeup done at 12. I got to perform at 3. And so I get the address at I get the address at 11. Okay. Now, state I don't know, I get the address. Y'all come to find out the address was a gentleman's club. Yep, you heard me right. You heard me. So if you're on YouTube, you saw me and you heard me. A gentleman's club. If you listening on podcast, a gentleman's club, a strip club. Okay, for you that speak French, a strip club. All right. So the address to get my makeup done was a strip club. So I'm like, huh? Like, hold on. So I look up the address in MapQuest, right? I'm like, so I text the person back, the woman back, and I'm like, so like, uh, was this the right address? So she goes, yes, it is, in text. Yes, it is. And I'll see you shortly. A strip club. So I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get my makeup done like in a strip club? Y'all, for real. I'm so serious. And how, because I have a decision to make, right? Well, A is go to the strip club and get my makeup done, or B is do the makeup myself. Now, if I knew how to do the makeup myself, this wouldn't even have been a dilemma. This wouldn't even be an issue, okay? Andrea doesn't know how to do the makeup herself. She can't beat her face. So she needs a professional makeup artist. And from what she said, she was a professional makeup artist, right? From my girl. And on this app, she had 5 stars. She had 5 stars, y'all. She had 5 stars. Now I'm Googling this girl. So I'm Googling the name. But come to find out, the name was a fictitious name. It was not her real name. It wasn't the name that her mama gave her when she came out her mama's hoo-ha. Okay, so now I told you I have to make a decision. What am I going to do? It's 11. Andrea can't do the makeup herself. So she gets ready to go to the strip club. But before she does this, okay, this is in the morning. Before she does this, she calls her children because I first of all, I need my children to know where I'm going, okay, that I'm going to the strip club, okay? That I am going. I need them to know why I'm going to the strip club. And then I need them to tell me, and this is what happens, y'all, when we get older, sometimes the roles reverse. So the kids become your parents. So I call my godson, Jamal, and I'm like, you ain't going to believe this. The place I'm getting ready to go get my makeup done is, he was like, what? Okay. Then I call Ayana. You ain't going to believe this. So I'm telling both of them. So Ayana always has my location anyway. So they like the strip club. So I'm talking it through with them as I'm driving over, because I'm driving, y'all. So I'm driving over to the strip club. So I'm like having dialogue, like, so what do y'all think? And so as we talking and we processing, right? They laughing first, we get a laugh. But then at the same time, there is some concern. I'm a little nervous. So Jamal, he pulls it up not only on MapQuest. Y'all know he used to be in the Army. So now he's going to Google and he's finding it. And then he's finding all of the landmarks that's around the strip club. And he's telling me, he like, Dre, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good because he's talking about this place is here, and this place is here. I think he said like a Tesla dealer is like across the street, and this. So I guess he feel like the people at Tesla is safe, or somebody was gonna save me. I don't know why, but for him, for some reason, Tesla sounded like the strip club was safe because Tesla was like across the street. I don't know, but okay, whatever. So okay, he's found that, and he found another landmark, and he's like, no, Dre, I checked out the area. Now he's in Kansas, okay? And so he done checked out the area online and he looking at it. So Ayana's like, no, Ma, I think you're gonna be okay. I got your location, all right? So my kids, I'm on my way to the strip club. Then I say to them, I think I'm a little too old to be human trafficked, right? Because I'm like, literally, y'all, that's like a question of mine. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, if they trying to lure me in and all of a sudden somebody wants to human traffic me, like, how fast can I really run? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. Like, come on, Andrea, I know I kind of work out. I like to work out about 5 times a week. But, how fast can I get away from the human traffickers? So now I know I'm going to look out for white vans, when I pull up. I'm making a joke, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking out for, is it human traffic? Then I had to say to the kids, do they what age do they stop human trafficking people? You know what I'm saying? Then, of course, Jamal makes a joke. Well, if they human traffic you, they're going to drop you right off at the next corner. That's what he said. He, whatever. So we laugh, and I'm still on my way to the strip club. Okay. So I get to the strip club. Then this was another thing. I park in the parking lot because this was the thought. I said, you know what, y'all? It's 11 o'clock in the morning. So since it's 11 o'clock in the morning, y'all, I'm anxious, right? I'm feeling a bit out of control. This is not a controlled situation, okay? This is why I'm drawing parallels. But I'm trusting God as I'm going, but I'm making sense out of it, right? I'm knowing where I am. I got my allies here, so they know where I am in case they got to call the police. One of them got me where she tracking me. The other one done looked in the area. So I'm setting myself up to be as safe as possible. But I'm also knowing that this is not the only option, but this is the option that I'm choosing. Okay. I'm choosing to trust the unknown. Okay. Cause she did have 5 stars. Okay. So as I start to turn in, I said to myself, well, it is 11 o'clock in the morning. So if it's 11 o'clock in the morning, ain't nobody up in here twerking at 11 o'clock in the morning. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There is no twerking, no sexy red going on up in here at 11 o'clock in the morning. Who's twerking? What men? What? They wake up, go straight to, not at 11 o'clock in the morning. So this is where I said, you know what? I called them. I said, listen, call them back. I said, another thing I'm thinking, it's probably empty. So since it's empty, this woman probably, has a space in there, and this is what maybe she can afford. And so we're going to do it here because this is what she can afford, but it's probably empty. Because why would she have a client to come, in the strip? It can't. You can't. Am I getting stripper makeup? I don't understand. So I pull up. And when I pull up, okay, there are cars in the parking lot, y'all. Cars. So I'm like, okay, so why is it 10 cars, 12 cars, 12, maybe 13? Mine might have made 14 cars in the parking lot of a strip club at 11 a.m. in the morning. I don't get it. Okay. But let me see. Let me go in. Let me try to go in. Then I sat in the car and I said, you know what? I think I'm rethinking this. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm just not feeling like I'm going to go in. So now I'm thinking, is this my intuition or is this fear? Is this my intuition, the God in me, or is this fear? Then all of a sudden, car pulls up right next to me. She gets out and she knocks on my car window. So I'm like, hey. And she got pink hair. And it's hot pink. But then it's light pink, like my shirt, down at the tips. So it's ombre pink hair. That's her. She says, hey, because let me tell you this. So she knew it was me. Well, maybe because I don't look like a stripper. That was number one. But I'm thinking number two also, before I came to her, when I made the appointment, she wanted me to send a picture of my face. So I sent a picture of my face. So that was probably how she identified me in the parking lot. Okay. So now she's here. Oh, she looks like she's safe. Yeah, she does. She looks like a safe young woman. She was young. Okay. So I said, you know what? I'm throwing all hands up. I'm taking control of, I am giving all my control to Jesus. And I'm going to go, and Pinky, and we're going to go up in here and I'm going to see what she got, because I'm not going to judge a book by its cover. No, I'm not going to do that. So we going in. And when I say by a cover, I'm just saying she was a young girl and she had hot pink hair and it was ombre with a little light pink on the ends. So my thing is, I just didn't want my face to be ombre with the pink, hot pink and hot pink. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, judge a book by its cover. Not because, and because she worked in a strip club. I'm going to be all the way honest. Okay. I was trying not to judge a book by its cover. Okay. So we go into the strip club. And as we walk into the strip club, we do walk to the back because she has a room in the back. And as she has this room in the back, as I'm walking, I see the men. I see them in there. And let me say this to you guys. This is no shame. I promise you, this is no shame to the men who were in the strip club. No shame. This is not even a shame to the strippers, to the dancers that was in there. Because if that's how you got to get your coin, then that's how you got to get your coin. Let me tell you something. I have counseled several women who have chosen stripping as a career. I have. And I've also counseled several sex workers. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And I love them, okay? Because they are no different than me and they are no different than you. We are all the same. We just make different choices. And a lot of times what I've learned through working with them is that this was a choice that they felt like they had to make to survive. So I respect anybody who takes care of themselves as long as it's their choice to do it. You got me? All right. So I want to put that on the table. Now, let's go back to the story. So I walk in and strippers is already up and down the pole. Already up and down, clap, 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 tick, 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 tick. And I'm the lie. I ain't gonna lie. Because I was going to say I was trying to have tunnel vision, but I wasn't. That's not even who Andrea is. Nope, that ain't who she is. So as I'm walking through, I'm shocked, okay, that they working so early. And I'm shocked, I told y'all, that the men were already here, sitting back with drinks, watching the show and throwing money. 11 in the morning. So, okay, not to be distracted, but a little distracted. I'm smiling at the girls. I'm like, hey, okay. Yup. Hey, looking at their hearts. That's what I'm looking at, their hearts. I'm looking at their hearts, Yeah, just looking with love. Looking with love. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So then we make it to the back, and now she's doing my makeup. So I won't tell you the long story about, how my eyebrows was looking at one point and how my lipstick was looking at one point. This is what I'm going to say to you. That in the end, my makeup looked good. Now, my makeup did not look like Sean did my makeup, but my makeup looked good. Did it look a little stripper-ish? It did. It looked a little stripper-ish, yeah. However, it was better than me actually doing the makeup, okay? And I want to tell you this, right? So I don't drag you through the whole story of everything when she put on, she took off, and she put on, she gave me the mirror, and she asked me to say, I ain't going to take you through all of that, right? But I will tell you this. As Andrea went into this to get my makeup done in the back of the strip club, it was clothes was hanging up with strings and holes in them, and because it was a boutique, okay? I got the makeup in the boutique. I'm sitting there, I'm like, do I want to buy some of this stuff? I kind of was feeling like I wanted to buy some of this stuff. But I didn't. I was focused, okay? And as she's doing my makeup, I'm so uber. I want to know, why are we here? Because y'all know this is what I do, the why. Why I need to know, why did you choose to have your your makeup career or booth in a strip club? So now we start. I'm peeling back the layers while she's doing my makeup, okay? Because I got to ask my love, yeah, how do we get here? And what did this, okay? And as she talked to me with tongue ring in the mouth, and all the hair pink and all, and some of her brushes, because I was concerned about the brushes. When I think of strip club, I'm not thinking that it is the most, and this is my truth, that it's the most cleanliness, meaning that there's like barbicide. Y'all know I used to have a hair salon, and there's like alcohol, and like I'm not thinking that, right? I'm thinking brushes. I'm just imagining girls coming off stage needing to get a touch up, and everybody's using brushes wherever they need to use brushes at. Okay, wherever they need to use brushes at. All right, this is in my mind, the story I'm telling myself. So I was a little concerned about the cleanliness of the brushes. Are we sharing brushes here? Are these community brushes? This is a community makeup. You got what I'm saying? You come off stage, you got to go back. You might be a little sweaty, and you need a little touch up in certain areas. You're going to use the same makeup and the same brushes. Okay, so Andrea was concerned. All right. However, through the process, I saw how she was scattering around and picking it up. And then you know what Andrea did? I just threw my hands up again, and I just prayed to God for just for him to purify the room, and to purify the makeup, and to purify the brushes. So anywho, come to find out, this fine, young, beautiful woman was a stripper. She was a stripper. And at this time that she did my makeup, she had to stop stripping because she injured her ankle in the heels. So, what she decided to do when she injured her ankle in the heels and she couldn't get up there and twerk on the pole with the injured ankle in the heels, she said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a career out of this. I'm going to pivot, okay? And she started doing makeup. And that, y'all, is how she became a makeup artist. You got me? Okay. So I had to get the story. Y'all know I had to find out where your mama, where your father, doing all this stuff. Okay. While she doing my makeup. Okay. So she did my makeup. I wore my makeup. It was nice. Just a little stripper-ish, but it was nice. Okay. All right. So now it's time for me to exit. So as I exit out of the strip club, because now it's about an hour and a half later. So what is it now? 12:30. Okay. I'm really interested in knowing who's out there now and who's up. That's what I'm interested in doing. So as I go to walk back through, I will go to the bathroom, wash my hands, go to the bathroom. Then I come out the bathroom. Bathroom was clean, honey. The sink's clean. Okay, baby. All right. So then come on now. Yeah, come on. Give props what props is due. So then I go walk back through. And as I walk back through, they was working. They was working. And I walked through and I spoke and I smiled and I tried to pick up a couple of tricks when I look, for the, you know. And so then, I get outside, I go back to my car, and I'm safe. I didn't get human trafficked, where Jamal said they would throw me out a block away. Everything worked out fine. I got my makeup done. It was a good price. And I had an experience. And I got a connection with this young woman who is smart, talented, and an entrepreneur. She pivoted. And I love that. And I respect her for that. So, got in my car, drove away with an amazing story that I just showed y'all, that yes, I did get my makeup done in a strip club by a stripper. I sure did. Ex-stripper, now a makeup artist. There you go. Let's make it right. And everything worked out okay. So if I was in this mode of needing to control everything and having everything done the correct, right way that was in my head and not coloring outside of the lines to keep myself safe, I wouldn't have got no makeup done. So instead, I made sure that I created as much safety as I could for myself, right? By calling my peeps, by pulling them in. They knew where I was. They were tracking me. They knew the name of the place, got me. Then I realized had my sneakers on in case I had to run if I needed to. Yeah. Then decided to go inside, to just go into whatever it is that's up next, God. What's up next? What's up next? What am I supposed to learn next? Okay, come on, God, give it to me. I'm going with it. And that's what I did. I let God support me. I trusted God. He's always conspiring for my good. And hopefully in some way, I even touched that young lady and I inspired that young lady because I also gave her some more suggestions that would help on her business. So that was a way that I recently let go of control, okay? And let life happen because life be lifing. All right? Okay, y'all. So I just wanted to share that story with you because everything turned out okay. Was it perfect? No, it was not perfect. But was it okay? Absolutely. Was everything fine? Absolutely. Am I here telling you the story now? Yes. Did I have an amazing event? Yes. And did the pictures come out well? Yes. See? God is always conspiring for our good. So we don't have to trust every little thing. Just trust God. All right. Okay, y'all. So I'm not going to repeat the steps again to get some clarity into moving past being controlling. And as the why, go back, rewind it, listen, and share. So if you know someone in your life who's over controlling, share this with them. And if you feel like sometimes you can over control certain situations and you feel like you're not at peace if you're not in 100% control, rewatch it. Okay. All right. So that is another episode of the Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast. I love you, family. Make sure you remember to subscribe. Click that little button and that bell so that you know you get notifications when another episode is up. And I love you. And I will see you on the next episode.